So let's talk about TikTok.
Oh yeah.
They were going to get rid of TikTok. TikTok's owned by a Chinese company, and they were going to stop it here because they're influencing our youth.
Olivia Doon is pissed.
Now they stopped it, and then Trump gave them a reprieve. So Sunday afternoon it came back on. I think you're just going to see which one of Trump's buddies is going to buy TikTok. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another thrilling episode of the TomCast. I'm the Tominator, Tom Chiricello. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. The lovely Morgan is with us again. Hi, Morgan.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And Big Joe is here.
Hello and good afternoon.
We come to you live from Sarasota, Florida. I think the high today is like 50, maybe 56 degrees, and we are freezing.
It is fucking cold.
I
I didn't move
It's
here for
even
this
cold
shit.
by my standards.
And I know people listening to us in like New York and Boston, Chicago, they're like, oh, they need to man up. But Joe, you grew up outside of Boston. Morgan, you grew up outside of Chicago. Mm-hmm. I grew up in New Jersey. But it is true for those contemplating retiring to Florida one day, your blood thins out.
Yeah.
Like your tolerance for cold changes. Mm-hmm. Like I'm here walking from the car for the restaurant we had lunch, freezing.
Yeah, I'm not about this.
For me, it was a brisk walk. There's only one
Ask him what
pace.
he's wearing.
Shorts.
Stand up, Joe.
Joe's got
Show
shorts.
off them thighs.
I got my mini skirt.
Joe's wearing shorts.
I'm wearing hot pants.
Literally wearing shorts, and it's freezing out. It's like rainy. It's cloudy.
I
It's
do
supposed
got
to
my
be.
BVDs on under that.
It's supposed to be 34 degrees in Sarasota on Saturday. That is like unheard of. I didn't move here for this shit.
And I'll be
But
wearing
this Sunday
shorts.
it's going to be in the 70s for football action.
And for forks and corks.
I like watching football. I like going to restaurants outside.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
I'm a patio drinker.
Well, you get the vitamin D. It's just healthy for you to get the sun while you drink and poison yourself.
When you drink inside, it's vitamin P. When you drink outside, it's vitamin D.
I'm no scientist, but so I don't comment on the global warming or whatever. But I think yesterday it snowed in every U.S. state.
All 50 states
All
it
50
snowed
states.
in America.
Yes, I
That's a
believe so.
wild fact. When's the last time that happened?
I think it happens. It's not unusual, but not common
That's
either.
unusual. I read the last time it snowed in Florida was 2003, so that's pretty fucking unusual.
Houston, it snowed. Houston South. New Orleans, it snowed.
Houston, we
Well,
got a
all
problem.
50 states. You don't got to list them. It's all of them.
So I don't know about this global warming
Hawaii?
phenomenon.
Yeah, it's not
Hawaii,
overheating.
I think Hawaii has the Big Island has mountains.
Yeah.
And it snows and
Just the
It
tips.
does. Yeah, I played this course called Kulau, and it's up in the mountain range, and you do get snow on the tips up there. So I've been around snow almost everywhere I've gone.
So we got to stay warm.
Yep.
For those people keeping that in mind, you have extra blanketage. Any young ladies need to warm up.
You're a good spooner.
Yeah, you can spoon.
Do you spoon or are you the spoonie?
I don't recall. I have no comment.
I can imagine Tom getting spooned late at night on a Saturday.
spoon with a guy named Fred.
I sound like these Senate confirmation hearings. I have no comment, Senator.
Tyler's going
I
to
don't recall,
villages.
Senator.
Tyler's going to villages to do some spooning, I think, this week.
Oh, God.
Shout out to Mark Tyler for having the guts to go to villages.
For those who don't know, the villages in I guess like Central Florida, it's like an older. I don't know if I call it retirement community.
Yeah.
Would that be accurate? Like it's very popular. Like thousands of homes.
STD.
55 plus communities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they say like I read somewhere that they say like sexually transmitted diseases like really high there.
Yeah.
It's called the Villages. It's somewhere deep in
that's
Florida,
where he's
and
going.
they have one of
The
the
village
highest
people.
rates of STDs
Yeah.
in Florida because they all be fucking.
And they're not worried about having kids, so they don't use protection.
But my thing is like if they
Tyler's not worried.
tested every living resident in the Villages and made sure they got cleared of STDs and then they all fucked each other, there would be no STDs. Just don't fuck outside the village and then
Yeah.
you're safe.
Stay in the village. You hear that, Tyler? Stay in the villages.
I ain't going to no villages.
That sounds fun.
The nightlife ends at 10 because they're all indoors having their own little nightlife.
So Monday, January 20th, was a huge day in this country's history for three reasons. One, the inauguration for the second time of Donald J. Trump. I did watch it. Did you guys watch any of it?
I did.
Yeah.
And
What's the second?
Martin Luther King Day,
Yep.
federal holiday, was also the same day. Martin Luther King, federal holiday. He was a civil rights leader, as we all know, was assassinated on April 4th, 1968, at the age of 39. Tragic event. Mm-hmm. I don't know, King got a lot of, he had his critics like racist, obviously, or some people criticize him allegedly. He had a lot of sexual relationships outside his marriage.
We don't like that. But he had a good cause that he was out there for.
Had, exactly. You have to, I give him a pass for that. Not that I'm judging anyone and what they do in their marriage, but what he fought for and what he accomplished, I look back on it like, I just don't know, how can you just not like someone or hate someone because of whether they're black or
Well, I think racism is taught. I don't think
agree.
racism actually exists beyond being taught it, right? You see these videos of young children online, and it's a little black girl and a little white girl, and they hug and they love each other. No child will look at someone and say, their skin is dark, I don't like them. You teach that. So as long as we stop teaching it, we could hopefully eventually get rid of it, which is obviously the goal.
I agree 100%. So that was also on Monday. But getting back to Trump, so did you see Carrie Underwood, the country singer, sang "America the Beautiful"? And the music didn't play, so she had to sing it without music.
She is so badass. So they're sitting there and they're trying to get the song ready for her to sing, and obviously it's not working. And she realized they're live on TV, and she mouths to someone, "I can just sing it." And they obviously said yes, and she just sings it with no background music. It was beautiful. She did a fantastic job. But I just thought that was so cool, just seeing her just fucking go rogue and be like, I got this shit. I don't need background music.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I almost wonder if that was not an accident.
You think it was kind of planned?
Like somebody
to make her look good?
Yeah, to make her look bad.
Oh, okay. Someone thought they would trip her up, but she's such a
She out-tripped
bad
him.
bitch
She out-tripped
that
him.
she's like, yeah, she out-tripped him.
They
That could
tripped.
be. Well, because there was I heard there was a few tech issues during the event.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, they did last minute move it from outdoor to indoor, so that could have been a lot of last minute audio changes.
We need to defer to our expert producer, E-Dub, regarding audio changes.
Yeah.
If he were there, this wouldn't have happened.
Absolutely not.
Carrie Underwood would have had music. So we talked about it on several episodes of presidential pardons, so I'm not going to beat it to death again.
Oh, no,
but
this is a good one.
Joe Biden pardoned
Fauci.
everybody, Fauci.
I thought he didn't do anything wrong.
I think he pardoned his high school girlfriend.
What the fuck? What'd she do?
No, I'm making a joke.
Oh.
That's what she didn't do.
Oh.
Trump comes in.
I forgive you for not fucking me.
Trump comes in and pardons a whole ton of people. So everybody's pardoning everybody for everything.
Well, who's the worst person in your opinion that was pardoned that shouldn't have gotten pardoned? Be real. Don't lie.
I don't know.
You totally
there were none that were really.
Fauci didn't bother you?
It did a little bit. I mean, there's some presidents have pardoned really bad people.
Yeah, which I think is
Like I mentioned on one episode, there was a commodities trader named Mark Rich who Bill Clinton pardoned. The guy was a bad guy. Mm-hmm. There have been some bad ones, but these were mostly. They say that some of the January 6 people should not have been pardoned that Trump pardoned.
So technically, could Diddy have been pardoned?
Oh yeah.
So it literally applies to anything.
Federal crimes only.
Oh,
a president
okay.
cannot pardon you for a state crime. So like a DUI would be a state crime. You need the governor of that state to pardon
So
you.
Diddy's
not
federal.
that I would ever get a DUI. That
No, absolutely not. But Diddy's a federal crime, so technically.
Correct.
Well, thank God he didn't do that, because
Yeah,
that would
they
have been a war.
either Biden or Trump could have pardoned him.
Yeah, that man's gross.
And one thing that's controversial is it used to be they'll pardon you for what you did, conduct that you've already, Now they're pardoning for anything that you could have did.
So it's like with Fauci, he pardoned him till what date? Like, do they backtrack it? Like, okay, we pardoned Fauci from anything that he could have possibly
They'll give
done
you like
from
a 10-year
2019.
period, yeah.
So he knew what he was doing.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
so there, enough with the pardons. I mean, it is what it is. Now Trump came in. He's already, he's hitting the ground running. One thing he did, he laid off a relatively new government. In my opinion, government has got way too many employees. Like it's bloated. Like there's so many departments and so many people. Like, and I'm not going to say where it was or what it was, but years ago, I was offered a government job, and
and all about the government job.
It was $65,000 a year, the pay, and I'm like, and this was a long time ago. I'm like, I can't live on $65,000.
Yeah.
I got expenses.
I got bitches to take
I
out.
got bitches to take care of. So
Sorry, it just rolls off
this is
the
a
tongue.
family show. So anyway, and the guy looks at me, the government guy, and he goes, well, you're going to get a car, and you get like all these days off and vacation, tons of vacation, and like you get every imaginable holiday off, like Columbus Day off. I'm Italian. I think I should get off that day. But anyway, so I'm like, I can't work for $65,000. I'm not trying to be arrogant. And he goes, you're not going to do any work.
Oh.
He said that. He goes,
You get time to go out and get a
I'm
job.
just
He couldn't
chilling.
believe I said no.
Yeah. Well, you're a hard worker, Tom. You're a different breed in a good way,
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there are some people even today, I'm sure, that would be thrilled to make $65,000 a
and
year.
not work.
And like,
yeah.
I mean, I would have had to show up, and he was, look, you're just really going to just go to lunch every day.
Okay, got it.
Just mailing it in. And
Well, you had more aspirations for yourself.
so there are, like, they didn't need that job. Like, whoever they gave that job to is my point.
There's a lot of wasted money.
It was, and people don't realize it. It's coming from me and you. Like
We pay for the government jobs?
Yeah, it's coming out of your
Hell yeah,
taxes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Yes.
that.
Yes.
All our taxes go towards any government employee salary.
It's your federal taxes. It's amazing
Wow.
how much waste there is. And now the guy who's heading that up is Elon Musk.
Oh, Mr. Nazi.
It's called DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency.
Didn't he do Dogecoin?
Yeah.
Doji?
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. Didn't that
I don't know how you
fail?
say that.
Doge.
I always used to call it Dogecoin.
Doggy coins.
I didn't know so he's heading up getting
Department
rid
of Government
trimming the
Efficiency.
fat.
Yeah, trimming the fat.
Yep. Okay. That's fine. I think
Because you
that's a
really
good thing.
wonder, like, what would happen, like, if you got rid of, like, half the, like, would stuff stop? Like, I mean,
Well, obviously not. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it.
I'll tell you one thing that I noticed. Joe and I are obviously a lot older than you, Morgan, but one area that the government has really done a good job efficiency-wise. When I was a kid, I don't know how it was for you, Joe. If you went to the DMV, that was a friggin' nightmare. You'd be there all day.
People were fucking miserable.
You'd be there all day.
Yeah.
Now, I go to DMV.
It's the best experience ever.
Boom, you pick your number, you
yeah.
book ahead of time, you're in and out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, even I lived in Las Vegas in, I want to say, 2007. And they had one big DMV for Las Vegas. And I go in and I give her my information, get my Nevada driver's license. And I said to the woman, I'm not trying to be a jerk, just an idea how long it'll take. And she goes, you can go to a movie and come back.
Wow. It was just very
And that's
unorganized.
what I did. I went to a movie and came back.
Come back, yeah.
I love that.
They got movies everywhere. The casinos have a movie theater, a lot of them. So I walked
Surprised
to
you
a
surprised
movie.
you didn't go gamble for a couple
Let me
hours.
give you the government joke. Why don't government workers look out the window in the morning? They get nothing to do in the afternoon.
Oh, my God.
I was watching, I might have shared this before. I love Law and Order. The TV show was on for a million years, still on.
Yeah.
And I've seen every episode like 10 times, but they're investigating a guy. He was an accountant for like the city of New York. And they thought he might have been like stealing money for a girlfriend. And the guy was really kind of like a nerdy guy. And they thought he might have been like, stealing money to give to his stripper girlfriend or something. Mm-hmm. And they go to talk to his boss at New York City, like accounting department. The detective goes, was he good at his job? And it was such a funny line. The boss goes, detective. This is a city job. He was competent. I'm basically implying like, yeah, he showed up.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
But I don't begrudge government workers. I have nothing against people who work for our government. I'm just saying that, we probably have too many.
Yeah.
And there's no pressure to, no one's going to say, hey, you're not doing good enough. So it's maybe there are a lot of it. There's so many government departments that weren't even around, like 50, 100 years ago. So maybe they do need to trim the fat.
Mm-hmm.
You get to be a good golfer though. Doing that. At one point in my life.
Then they said Dwight Eisenhower was president in the 50s. He played golf every day, and they say Trump in his first time played golf. Not every day, but a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I know firsthand.
So the other big thing about January 20th was the college football championship, Ohio State and Notre Dame.
That's right.
And Ohio State beat Notre Dame 34-23. It was a pretty competitive game. I mean, It wasn't, Ohio State. The big part about that game that's interesting for those that gamble on football, I'm sure hundreds of millions of dollars changed hands. Morgan, I don't know how much you know about betting on football, but they have what's called a point spread. So, like, one team will be favored to win.
I think she knows.
She knows. So, one team was favored to win, and they've set a number of points. So, Ohio State was favored to win the game by 8.5 points. So, if you bet Notre Dame and they lose by 7, you win.
Yeah.
They lose by 8, you win. So, Notre Dame is losing by 8 with 23 seconds left. Yeah. So, if you bet Notre Dame, you're a winner. Ohio State only needs to kill, I think it was 26 seconds, something like that. They only need to just kill 26 seconds. They elect to kick a field goal and win by 11. So the Ohio State bettors won. Yeah. I'm thinking, if that field goal had been blocked in return for a touchdown, that Ohio State coach would have been taking some major heat. Yeah. But you're telling me that they didn't know that?
Yeah.
They wanted to cover the spread for their fans, which is, hey, it is what it is. I mean, you bet. That's the risk you take.
Right.
I'm not crying for them. I'm a Notre Dame fan.
Oh, I got you.
But I'm not crying for them Notre Dame bettors. So while we're on the topic of football, we got 4 teams left in the NFL. 2 games Sunday. In the NFC, it's Washington at Philadelphia. The winner goes to the Super Bowl, and Philadelphia is favored by 6.
So you already lost your bet. You said Miami.
I said I lost that later. But I looked at our...
When the hell did it take Miami?
At the start of the year, I said
At the beginning of this podcast.
But I went back and looked at our whole... I'm glad you put that up, Morgan. I
won a lot of money because I didn't have Miami.
You owe me $10,000, by the way. I bet on you.
You took Miami? I didn't know that.
I tried to come up with like a long shot, but I looked at this week we did a football preview episode before the season. The team I said look out for, you could look it up.
Did say
Washington Commanders.
Okay.
And they're still alive.
That's good.
And some people think they could win. Like they have a quarterback. He went to LSU named Jaden Daniels, and he's just like lights out. He's going to be great, I think.
I'll tell you what, they played a hell of a game last week.
I was reading today. This is a kid who was drafted 2nd in the draft. He's a star quarterback, making tons of money. He has no girlfriend. Like his mother was talking about it because they asked his mother, like, why has he got no girlfriend? He's focused on football.
Or something else.
But I think Philadelphia is going to win that game. They're a 6-point favorite. It's in Philadelphia.
I like Washington to cover.
I agree with you, Joe. I think it'll be close. One good thing I like is I know a lot of football fans love the bad weather. I don't like it when weather affects the game. Yeah. It's going to be 39 degrees and sunny in Philly, they say. And the other game is Buffalo at Kansas City. It's supposed to be 34. So that's good football weather.
Yeah.
34 seems a little chilly. I'd say like 48.
Like these guys will be wearing short sleeve shirts.
Yeah. I don't know, your fingers just get cold and it probably hurts to catch the ball.
So Kansas City.
Trust me, these guys are so zonked up.
Yeah. Adrenaline.
Kansas City is favored by 2 points in Kansas City against Buffalo. I like Buffalo, Joe.
I like Buffalo.
I think Kansas City has won the last 2 Super Bowls. We talked about that. They're going for a 3-peat. So I'm sure our girl Taylor Swift will be there to cheer on her man.
For sure.
God almighty.
I think people are starting to get tired of Taylor.
Who's performing Super Bowl again? Some rapper. Kendrick Lamar.
Didn't Trump pardon him, or is that somebody? Lil Wayne got pardoned by Trump. So 3 o'clock Sunday, the first game, 6:30. I maybe I'm getting old. I don't like because the 6:30 game don't end until like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's late.
So I'm like, I gotta get up early in the morning and get to the
I'm
office.
poking your head to wake you up.
I'll do some Red Bulls in the second game. Sugar-free Red Bull.
Still has
That's really bad for you, right? It has chemicals, right?
Yeah, it's probably
What doesn't have chemicals? Like, I mean, what is there that's safe to eat?
Our world is fucking killing us. I mean, something came out today about Band-Aids seeping into the cut or is giving you cancer. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, stop spraying shit with chemicals. Just make things natural. If it has a shorter life shelf, what fucking ever. Like, it's just, I'm so paranoid. I'm at the grocery store now. I'm reading the back. I don't know what the fucking words are. I'm like, am I dying from this?
No,
It's so
Band-Aids.
unbelievably stressful. I can't even imagine being a mother and having to feed your fucking kids.
I understand, though. Hooters wings are totally fine.
Oh, yeah. I bet those are reaped in chemicals and STDs.
STDs in the wings.
I wish.
Tom, no, you don't wish. You don't want chlamydia.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
There's something I want to talk about. Like, I feel like every sports league is too long, probably. Like basketball and hockey, we'll talk about it in 2 months. But college basketball is rolling. There's a player, the second-ranked college team is Duke University. Mm-hmm. And they got this freshman, this kid named, you follow this kid?
Oh,
Cooper Flag?
they went up to 2. They were 3, I guess.
Duke has a freshman. His name's Cooper Flag.
What a name.
And not to be racist, he's a 6'9", 18-year-old white kid from
6'9",
and he's from Maine.
Okay.
I mean, you think about the best college basketball player is a white kid from Maine. I mean, think about that.
Well, he's tall.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Not
That man
that
could
tall.
just flick a finger and get a slam dunk.
But they say he's going to be what they call like a one and done, 1 year in college, right to the pros. Like he'll be the
Okay.
first pick.
Cool.
And he signed a deal with Joe's favorite sneaker company just the other day.
Oh, with Celtics?
No, this Cooper Flag signed a promotional deal with a sneaker company.
Sneaker.
Oh, New Balance.
New Balance, that's right. They're not really known
He's
for.
wearing them right now with his
Joe got
shorts.
the New Balance on.
You can't lift your leg that high, but they're on.
But they're not really known for basketball shoes. It's more a running
Bring
shoe.
the cameras down here.
Running shoe, walking shoe, casual yoga shoe,
Drinking shoe.
drinking shoe.
Drunken shoe.
So we'll see if Cooper Flag can do anything to build up New Balance. New Balance popularity for basketball shoes. I'm sure he's going to be making tons of money.
Yeah.
The kid only turned 18 on December 21st.
Wow. He's a little young boy.
Like he's not even supposed to be in college. He moved up a year early to start college.
Because he was smart or because he was good at sports?
They were good at sports.
Yeah.
Parents need some money.
Yep.
Now, this is also a legal podcast, as we know. So we're going to talk about some legal issues.
Do it.
Let's talk about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, sexual harassment lawsuit and countersuit. He's suing her back.
Good.
He wants $400 million back.
Did you watch the movie?
We went to the movie.
Oh, yeah, I saw it with you. We brought Trey, and he was, like, so pissed. I mean,
I
here's
think I
the
did
thing.
fall asleep a little bit in that movie.
So much has come out, obviously, since this lawsuit became public. And they're showing videos that she's done previously, and now they're actually showing video footage from the actual film. And it kind of goes against the fact that he was sexually harassing her. I don't know. Do you think they were hooking up? And he denied her because he's married, and now she's a little salty. She's trying to cover
He's
her
married
tracks and be
with
like,
2 kids.
"No, Ryan, he sexually harassed me. I didn't try to have sex with him." Seems like that's what's happening.
I like Blake.
Yeah, you like her because she's hot,
That's-
but she's also above your age range. So I don't know if that works for
She's
you.
above your age range. Was she 24?
she's got like, does she have 4 kids?
She'd had her 4th kid, and then one of the issues apparently she had with Justin Baldoni was she was telling him something like she was worried about her weight, and then apparently he was going to help send her to some doctor like that had nothing to do with being overweight, but it was actually like a weight exercise doctor. But there's no way someone would manipulate that into happening. I just don't buy it.
You can't body shame Blake Lively.
And
Come
then
on.
they show this video footage of them acting and they're acting, so like it looks like a little. They're supposed to be flirty in that scene. He didn't kiss her. He didn't grab her ass. Like, he didn't do anything inappropriate. All the cameras are there. They were kind of talking to the people filming as they were trying to, like, figure out what they were doing for that dance that they were doing together. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I would love to see them do a tell-all on it, where they each just go at it on camera and talk about what happened. What do you think?
I don't know. Like,
and not because you think she's hot. Be honest.
I think some of these videos,
Ricky.
It didn't look like there was any hostile work environment going on. Like, they looked like they were getting, and they showed one text that I guess she must have had her kid, like her youngest kid, because she sent him a text, I'm in my trailer pumping, I guess like breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. But
she claims he like walked in on her while she was breastfeeding, but lock your fucking door. If you're taking a shit, you don't leave the door unlocked. If you don't want someone to see you breastfeeding, lock the door. And I'm sure he was. And also, we're in such a world of women can breastfeed in public. It's like you're feeding your baby. You shouldn't be ashamed of that. So, what is she so upset about if he saw her in that moment? If you were uncomfortable, say, hey, I'm breastfeeding my child. Can you please leave the room? Like, speak up. They knew each other. It shouldn't have been weird for her to say that to him. I doubt he was like wanting to watch her.
I agree with many legal analysts that say that this shouldn't be litigated. This is something
This is a waste of fucking
It should be settled through mediation or arbitration. Like, they should resolve their issues outside of court. I agree with that.
I agree, but it's
I'm not saying either side is right or wrong.
It seems like they're each trying to destroy each other's image right now.
And
apparently he's just like a total fucking asshole regardless of this. Like, I don't know if you saw his proposal video to his wife. It was a 35-minute video of him dancing, and he sent her to a restaurant by herself, and she had to watch him on camera dance for 30 minutes and do all these role plays before he showed up and proposed. What a fucking narcissist, right? But that doesn't mean he's a sexual harasser. He's just a little douchey.
I don't like him, but
yeah,
I wasn't there. Like, none of us could really know what happened.
I think they were in love.
I do think they need to resolve this outside of court.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Now, he's also suing the New York Times for $250 million. Like, he's firing them off. He's a pretty big time lawyer, a guy named Brian Friedman from California, and so he's countersuing Blake Lively and her husband for $400 million. He's suing New York Times for defamation for $250 million, defamation and what they call false light. Like, false light is a tort where they portray you in a false light.
Yeah.
Like, the facts may be accurate, but they just portray
manipulate it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I kind of get it, because if you think about it, if they're really doing defamation to him and he can't get future jobs, he would be making millions and millions over the course of the next 20 years of his career, which could amount to $200-300 million. But now no one's going to fucking hire him because of the defamation. So it's like, well, pay me now because you just screwed me over.
Well, that movie was successful. Like, he probably made a considerable amount of money. He was a director.
Yeah.
And he was a star. Like, he's neither side, in my opinion, from what I know, can be hurting for money. So just resolve your. I think I see that in my profession. Like, people make it personal. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not a divorce lawyer, but like, one person wants to punish the other. Like, just resolve it and move on with your life.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be hostile, but
unless you're getting revenge.
So,
did we get to Elon yet?
No, we're going to P. Diddy next.
Okay.
So he's not getting. Is there any update on this, Morgan? That he's not getting out on bail?
No. I watched the documentary on Peacock last night called, like, I don't know, something Diddy's name. It was fairly interesting. It kind of showed his past. He actually was a little rich boy. Went to private school. His dad died when he was young. And then he just kind of made a name for himself. But his career actually started when he was promoting some big event in New York, and he oversold it and had under security, and like 9 people died. And that actually, weirdly enough, made him more popular because he was in the news with what happened and almost like offset his career or skyrocketed his career. And then from there, he just became a freak. But as far as I know, he's not getting out. I don't think he should. But I just think it's going to kind of be like Jeffrey Epstein. I don't think we're ever going to find out the truth. I mean, there were so many big celebrity names that were probably at these parties and whether they did something or not, they may have witnessed it and they didn't speak up, that they are all trying to save their ass right now. You know, they don't want to be known as the person that saw a little girl walk in a room with Diddy. Well, I didn't really see what happened, and just like turned a blind eye. So I think everyone's covering their asses, and we're never going to find out the truth. But hopefully he just stays fucking locked up.
There's a famous quote. I can't remember who said it. Let me think of I don't know the exact words. Something like, the only thing evil needs to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
Yeah. Well, think about it this way. Let's put it in perspective. If you were at a party of someone you didn't really know, you were like invited through a friend, right? There's 200 people, big mansion, pool party, girls with their shirts off, whatever, fun time. And you see something kind of shady, you don't really know what's happening. There's some 15, 16-year-old girl goes into the back room of the house with an older man. Would you report it? I'm not saying it was right not to, but I feel like things like that happen a lot, and maybe we just need to start promoting more of a culture of, if you see something, say something, like they say in the New York subways, because then this shit's just going to keep happening. And I don't necessarily think anyone who didn't speak up is wrong, because like it's just a really weird situation. Then you bring power and money into it. I think a lot of people kind of had a hunch but didn't know, and they didn't want to fuck with this guy because he could either hurt them or like hurt them physically or hurt their career. And so everyone just turned a blind eye. They didn't really see what happened, but they knew it seemed a little shady.
Joe Paterno with Sandusky.
See, I think Joe Paterno, Morgan, do you know who Joe Paterno is?
No.
He was
coach for Penn State.
For probably at least 40 years. Was a college football coach for Penn State.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, was like a decent guy, you know, well-educated. I think he went to Ivy League college, family man, wife never messed around women or any of that, never took drugs or any of that. But one of his assistant coaches was a pedophile, and it came out.
Oh, a bad one.
Yeah, bad.
Bad, top of the...
And like even players.
Yeah.
And so the issue to this day is, what did Joe Paterno know?
Right.
Did he, just because it's not something Joe Paterno would look for.
Right.
Or was he wasn't dumb, did he look the other way?
Yeah.
And there's different people. Some people say, oh, he looked the other way. And some people say...
So does that make him guilty?
I hated Penn State growing up because I'm from New Jersey. They were the enemy.
Yeah, but a lot of people, his legacy was really...
It was tarnished.
But so do you think that... Let's pretend he was turning a blind eye. Do you think he should be able to get in trouble for not speaking up?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
But I just find it hard to believe, as much as I wasn't a Penn State fan...
the repercussions.
I mean, Joe, do you think Joe Paterno would let something like that happen? I mean... he was a good guy.
Yeah.
Went to church every Sunday.
He was like an icon in the people's...
You would think not.
Maybe he was like...
He was a well-respected coach in everybody's eye in the college football league.
I just think when power and money come into play, a lot of more people probably turn a blind eye than we think, and it's really sad, and we need to fix that.
But there's still people to this day who are around it that some say, oh, he knew, and some say he didn't.
Yeah.
So,
but even to what Morgan said, she even gave a better analogy of what's happened. It's hard. I mean, I probably wouldn't. I'm at that party having a good time at the party. I probably wouldn't say anything.
You're like, that looks weird. I'm going to walk over here so I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Or I don't have to address it because my life's going to be ruined if I out this really wealthy man that could ruin my life.
If I know,
we need to all band together and stop that shit.
Not to sound like a lawyer, but you got to define no. If I know that guy's like, molesting a 15-year-old, absolutely, I'm reporting it. 100%.
Yeah.
But if a guy, who knows, he might be trying to sign her to a record deal. We don't know that just because they walk in a room, it's sexual.
Well, but that's my point. Once it's behind closed doors, it gets a little weird. It's like with Michael Jackson. These parents were letting him have little sleepovers, and they were in the other room, and he's just like, "Oh, we're just gonna have a sleepover."
I mean, you look at those.
I'm talking in my bedroom.
Or they're bringing a little kids to the zoo.
Yeah.
As a cover.
Or maybe there should just be a general rule, like, unless it's like your direct family, which that's a little wonky too. Yeah. You shouldn't let underage kids go in the room with people of the opposite sex. Well, the opposite sex doesn't even matter. I don't even know how to solve this.
This is just my personal opinion. I don't have facts. I know what I've read and seen the videos. You watch these Michael Jackson documentaries, like, this is going to sound crazy. if he comes on the radio, I turn it off.
Good. I love that. When people play that shit at weddings, I get so
he's-
fucking mad.
Not that it's going to cost
That
anyone
man is
any
a
money.
known rapist. It's not like
Yeah.
maybe. No, he fucking did. Even R. Kelly. You know, he was like pissing on girls.
Yeah,
like,
he's bringing them to a little.
but at the end of the day, it
zoo,
also
'cause
it comes down to parenting. Why the fuck are you letting your 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid
Go there.
go to a party at least without you, right?
Yeah, Michael
I
Jackson's
mean, if you want
like
your kid to get the record deal,
the
fine.
ultimate con
But
job
my
to get
ass
what
is
he
gonna be
wants.
in that fucking bedroom with you, so you can't do anything.
I don't know how people defend Michael Jackson like they do to this day.
It's
Well,
so
we
gross.
don't know. And like,
Well, Elizabeth Taylor defended him to the nth degree for all.
Can we talk about the fact Kim Kardashian purchased Michael Jackson's leather jacket for her daughter North and gave it to her and had her wearing it in photos? What the fuck is that? I was so appalled, and like no one made a big deal of it. I thought it was the most disgusting thing I'd ever seen. Burn the fucking coat.
but the argument they make is, well, he was never convicted of a crime.
No, we know. Come on.
I mean, you look at some of these documentaries.
These people are hurting in their eyes. You could see them like sobbing on camera. Like you can't act that. You know, something happened, and I don't know. I think we just need also, like I said, better parenting.
I even think so far, like I think Macaulay Culkin, like he said nothing happened to him.
He's
but,
totally turned his life around.
like, but like even like sleeping with like a 15-year-old, even if there's no sex in the same bed, that's messed up.
Yeah, like it's
That
just
it may not be
inappropriate.
criminal. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we need to set better boundaries. People need to speak up when they see something, even if it's a little shady. At least confront like the person's parent, right? Yeah. Like I totally get if like you see something happen to a kid and you feel just go to the parent. At least tell them, because then it gives them the opportunity to step in and try to figure out what's going on.
Well, I think people tarnished his life, and for a little while, the school, you wonder what they had good sports programs, Penn State, and they were one of the biggest in the country. Years ago, them and Ohio State were way up there compared probably even I know Ohio State won the national championship, but they were probably farther up in the
Notre Dame, Penn
sky.
State got what they call the death penalty. Like they took away scholarships. Like for them to be as good as they are now is amazing.
It is amazing. They're recruiting.
They came back
I
from
thought
that.
that would suffer 15-fold from his.
Didn't
the
Trump
way it
just instill something where anywhere in the U.S., if you rape an underage child, you get the death penalty? DeSantis did it for Florida.
did? Yeah.
Good, I
Supreme
agree.
Court,
Yeah.
I mean, those are the ones that the murderers kill in jail. Like, even the murderers have standards.
there have been Supreme
Put their
Court
head in the
cases
soup.
on that. There have been Supreme Court cases on that.
They become the cabbage.
And the Supreme Court made it illegal. Like if you rape a minor, you can't be put to death.
But I thought now you can.
Well, Florida passed a law that you can.
Yeah.
So now they say if Florida does it, it's going to be contested, and they feel now.
Why are we fighting this?
I know. I mean, like.
Why are we giving people a sliver of a chance to want to rape a child? Like, what the fuck is our standards in this country?
Well, that's a whole. We could have a whole podcast about the death penalty. Like, people are against it, argue it's not a deterrent. Like,
It is.
A psycho doesn't say who's ready to rape a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Doesn't say, well, if I get caught, I'm going to get put to
Well,
death.
whatever. I want him dead anyways. If they do it, I still want him dead.
Well, I agree with that.
It might not change them doing it, but why are we wasting our money and our resources housing them in jail for the rest of their life? Off them. Be fucking done with it. This is a waste. I don't want to feed them.
Well, the other thing is, in theory, you should save a lot of money by putting the prisoner to death and feeding them, clothing them, educating them but
it's more.
It costs more because they
we're not
appeal it.
shooting him in the head and making it cheap.
They
Bang,
never
bang.
get put to death. It could take 20 years.
It's ridiculous, but that also should change the whole process of it. I mean, I don't think you should torture them to death. Well, like just make it quick and simple. You can put a gun to their head and they will die. I don't even get why it wouldn't be any other way. That should be an instant death.
Make them run back and forth in the yard with a
Yeah,
cobblestone.
or do to them what
Make
they
'em
did
run
to the
back and
person
forth
that
with a
they
cobblestone
did a
above the-
crime on. Sorry, you raped someone, you get raped till you die, motherfucker.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I don't know. These questions are difficult ones. I mean, there's good arguments to be made on both sides of it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of problems. Well, one thing about Trump, like whether you like whatever you believe, is he's going to do
come
something.
up with an opinion. Yeah,
he's going to do something. Whether it's wrong, well, we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not going to sit back and play golf. I mean, well, he probably will, but I mean, he's going to do stuff.
Yeah.
So this, speaking of doing stuff, this diversity, equity, and inclusion, he laid off everybody in the government in that department.
Okay.
And like,
so what are your thoughts on DEI, Tominator?
well, I think it's like so many things, good and bad. Like the bad is it's just another government agency that my tax dollars are paying for, and I pay a lot. And like, but on the other hand, I know even what I went through when I went to college, and it was all like the privileged elite. And I'm this kid whose dad worked at a factory, and they, I kind of felt excluded. And like, so these kids, these people there's definitely, they're at a disadvantage from the start.
Yes.
So like, I think.
But does DEI cover, like, you're a white male, right? So pretend we had DEI back in the day. Would that have been able to have helped you?
Well, like
what does it cover?
My business is all white people working for me, not because I went. That's just I don't have a lot of employees, but like
you're not
no,
hiring
but if, say the
people.
government had said to me, okay, you need that 20% of your employees need to be black and 20% Hispanic, and told me that, I'd say, what am I supposed to do? Fire people I have now?
Right. That part is definitely. I think there's like a good reasoning behind it of. Don't exclude hiring people because of their race, gender, or sexual status, right? But when you are saying you have to hire people, you might not be hiring the best person for the job. And so it's like a fine line of managing it. I think it should more so just be like, let's encourage, looking in other areas for applicants where they might have more people of diversity.
But
I don't know how to
believe,
fucking solve
like we
it.
talk about racism is because it's taught. Well, I believe the reason that if you want to say minorities or underprivileged don't get to come up is because the wealthy
get the colleges.
they get their kids in, like all that admission
and they
scam,
know someone.
and they know people, and it just continues.
Yeah. No,
Like-
you're right.
Like, so I'm conflicted. Like, I think,
Well, maybe it should be don't hire people just because you know them. They need to go through the application process like every other person.
I mean, I was lucky. Like my
But
parents,
that's hard. How do you not hire your kid?
My parents didn't know anybody. I mean, I got lucky to even go to college, and like, but I don't know. I think that college. That's the thing. That college admission stuff pissed me off, and I believe the kids should have went to jail. Remember the scandal like 5 years ago when the parents were
Lori Loughlin.
Yeah, Lori Loughlin. But there were a lot of people like.
You think the kid should have gone to jail?
Yeah.
Her parents paid in the back.
I know, but the kids knew it. Like they knew.
Did she go to jail, Lori?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that.
Yeah.
I think everybody should have went to jail. The colleges should have been fined. The guys at college
Then
should
no
have
one
went to
will
jail.
do it. You're right.
I mean, like that's basically stealing from someone who's qualified.
Well, that's literally paying them off to accept someone that should not be qualified to go in, and that is taking away from someone who did deserve it.
If you're a
and
kid
worked
and you
hard.
know that you have no shot to get into a college,
Yeah.
and your parent, you're telling me these kids didn't know their parents fixed it.
Yeah, they probably
Because
knew.
Lori Loughlin's kid or something, I think they got her like
Some weird scholarship for some sport.
I want to say it was for like water polo. The kid didn't even play water polo.
Well, then they knew.
I mean, yeah, I got a water polo scholarship. I don't know what it is. Come on.
That's the first thing about it.
And I think they can't let the kids still go to the school.
Yeah, afterwards, which is crazy. That's crazy.
All right, so moving on. So there's no magic answer to these problems. I mean, but we got to try to do better. Everyone's got to try to do better. That's what Dave Chappelle said on Saturday Night Live. On Saturday night, he did the monologue, and he's like, Mr. Trump, he was kind of supportive. He's like, whether whoever voted for you or not, we got to do better for everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do agree with people who say Trump's an asshole.
He definitely
like
is.
I get it, but I think I think he can get it done.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see.
I mean, that's the hope, right?
Even though if he wants to come to Hooters, he doesn't drink, so we'll have to have.
It'd be pretty boring.
I don't think it would be boring.
It wouldn't. Not with the fucking president.
I think he'd find something else to do.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about our hat.
We're going to talk about Elon Musk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you think he gave the Nazi salute?
Absolutely not. I think he's a weird guy. He's always twitchy. He's doing weird shit with his body. And he was so excited to be there. You could see his body, like, making weird movements. He just couldn't handle the excitement of being on stage. I just think it would be absolutely insane for him to sit there and intentionally do the Nazi salute. But it was bad. Like, it looked just like it. But I just don't think it was on purpose. I think people are grasping onto it to try and control the narrative, what they always thought was going to be true when Trump got elected. And I think it's unfortunate. But he hasn't said anything about it, has he?
I think so many of these things is so many people in the last 12 years have called Trump a racist because of immigration and the border and this and that. And I don't know if my problem is, how can you know if someone's a racist? Like, I mean, there are some blatant racists. You have to get inside someone's head. Like, if you want us to call Elon Musk a Nazi, like, we can't get in his mind.
Well, then I'd like to know what else has he done in the past before that weird salute to look like he was against Jewish people. Has he done anything? I mean, I don't pay attention to him.
Not that I know.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough. It didn't look good, but I mean, come on, it's not going to be like fucking Handmaid's Tale up in America like everyone's trying to say with Trump, and it's not going to be the Holocaust, and we're not going to have, gas chambers. That's never going to happen. And I think people need to calm down a little bit. But yeah, he should probably just apologize for accidentally making that movement.
It's really kind of ambiguous, so you can't really tell. Like, I looked at it. I mean, you can't tell what he was.
He's got to address it.
That might have just been a wave.
It's been 4 days.
Richard Nixon was president. He used to go like this.
Yeah, but that's my point. I think it was on accident. It looked bad. He needs to say something at this point. Say, hey, I was just doing weird movements. I was so excited to be there.
I got no groove.
Like, he was like, I mean, geez, was that man on drugs? Like, did you see his face?
He might have been a white guy dancing in disco.
Yeah.
Do they still have discos? Do they use that term anymore?
I've never been to a disco, Tom.
You never been to a disco?
No.
Let's dance.
So let's talk about TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were going to get rid of TikTok. TikTok's owned by a Chinese company, and they were going to stop it here because they're influencing our youth.
Olivia Doon is pissed.
Now they stopped it, and then Trump gave them a reprieve. Like, so Sunday afternoon it came back on, and
yeah, about 8 hours off.
So I think you're just going to see which one of Trump's buddies is going to buy TikTok.
So do you think
at
the
a
whole
bargain
thing
sale price? At a bargain price.
Do you think the whole thing with TikTok was just a scam, and they were just trying to hype it all up?
I think the whole thing is somebody wants to grab it cheap.
Okay. Well, because still, even though they brought it back, you do realize no one new can download it on their phones. So apparently, if you have a phone that has TikTok downloaded, these things are going for like 10, 15, 20K. Yeah, I got it because I have it for you. Tom has a secret fake TikTok account on his phone to follow all the ladies, and then I have the Tominator lock on my phone.
Secret TikTok.
That's serious. I'm not joking.
One of the bartenders there is on TikTok.
I don't understand that. I don't understand. How is TikTok bad though? Like, what is it? Like,
they apparently are stealing our data, and they're manipulating the algorithm to just kind of brainwash us, make us dumb, less intelligent. I mean, I will say this. When I downloaded that in 2020, just for personal use, it was very addicting. You can sit there, and all of a sudden 2 hours has gone by, and you don't even realize it. Definitely lessened my attention span. Like, even now watching shit, I'm like, oh my God, like after 5 seconds, I'm like, just get to the point. Like, I don't want to wait to get to it. And I think it's quick videos, and it just makes you want more and more and more. But I don't think that's why it's banned. It's the data. Like they have access to what we're watching, to what we're typing, to what
We
we're
have
doing on
Tominator
there.
TikTok, right, Morgan?
We do.
So should we be plugging that at Tominator Law on TikTok?
Yes, you could go on TikTok. It's Tominator Law.
All right, there you go.
All our little videos are
we
there.
want that to stay in.
Tick, 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 tick.
Why do they call it TikTok? I don't know.
Tick tock, tick
Because
tock.
it's a timer and it
All right,
goes
so
quick.
my official picks to wrap up again, recap is the Washington Commanders will cover the spread and lose a close game in Philadelphia. Go Birds.
Yeah.
And in Kansas City, Taylor Swift will be crying.
Because Buffalo won.
Buffalo will shuffle into Kansas City and get it done.
Yeah.
And Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni will settle out of court in mediation when they hire Tominator to mediate.
Well, Taylor kicked her out of an invite for a game, too,
Really?
after what happened this week. Taylor
Whoa.
Swift was supposed to go to one of the games with her and apparently disinvited Blake Lively, which says a lot.
And in college basketball, if Cooper Flag needs an agent, TominatorLaw.com. It's not too late to switch agents. He hasn't signed anything yet. TominatorLaw.com. I know my hoops. Cooper. I do know.
Cuba.
I guess that was a popular name at that time. Cooper Kupp is an NFL player on the Rams.
Yeah.
Cooper Manning was Peyton Manning's brother. I don't know. Are there
Cooper.
women Coopers?
Cooper and George.
I think,
Cooper.
I think there are probably
not.
some women that are named Cooper. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like
There's
Cooper
many-
sounds
many
like
Coopers.
a dumb fucking name.
Mini Cooper's a car.
Yeah.
Mini Coopers.
Well, guys, always a pleasure having you here. And let's all stay warm out there.
Yep.
And if you do hit ice and get in an accident, TominatorLaw.com.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Thanks, Tom.
What a commercial you could have done that night.